were some pretty good moments in the State of the Union. So we did have, you saw all the female members of Congress on the Democratic side wearing white to honor the suffragettes, and it made a very striking visual image when you see how many there actually are out there. It was pretty awesome, and Trump sort of by accident created a nice moment in that regard when this happened.
All Americans can be proud that we have more women in the workforce than ever before. Don't sit yet, you're gonna like this. And exactly 1 century after Congress passed the constitutional amendment giving women the right to vote, we also have more women serving in Congress than at any time before. That's great. Very great. And congratulations, that's great.
That's great. I love seeing women in positions of power. Anyway, no, I thought it was a great moment. I know a lot of people's response was, Trump doesn't get that they got in office running against him. No, I think he knows that they're Democrats. I think it was a nice moment. It was a little bit weird, and obviously his record in everything having to do with women is horrendous. But that was a fine moment, and I liked that it became this sort of big part of the State of the Union was the women celebrating.
The surprising part was when the USA chant came out. He's like, "Wait a second, that's for us." It's totally the mindset. It's like that's supposed to be for us to talk about hatred and ousting other people. That's what USA chants are for.
Yeah,
not for inclusion.
Yeah, you cheer USA when you export oil or bomb Yemen, not when you have social change. And by the way, he mentioned there that it's 100 years after, he gave that historic allusion. We also know that 30 years before the midterm elections of 2018, from 30 years ago to the midterm elections we just had, Republican women in Congress, the exact same number. They have not gained one. That is not random chance. There's reasons for that. And if they were to look into it, perhaps they could actually change and you could have some white on the opposite side of the aisle there. We'll see if they learn that lesson. Now, great moment. Not everybody was pleased with the women in the audience. Peggy Noonan, the Wall Street Journal wrote, they were good-natured with the white jackets, who I see some on Twitter calling the straight jackets. AOC had a rare bad night, looking not spirited, warm, and original as usual, but sullen, teenaged, and at a loss. Thank you, Peggy Noonan, most influential woman in politics today. So if AOC is sitting, listening to Donald Trump speak, tell massive lies about the economy, immigration, foreign policy, all of that, she should be smiling. And look, I get that it's Peggy Noonan, and I get that she worded it differently, but how is that not a version of she needs to smile more?
Absolutely is.
That's all it is.
And also, she's too young to hold this office, right?
Teenage.
Yeah, so I knew what it meant, but I was like, let's see the official definition. Between 13 and 19 years old is the definition of teenage. I don't think she's between 13 and 19 years old. So in order to look teenage, you have to look young, and therefore if you look young, it means that you're in the wrong place. You're not supposed to be here, Missy.
Yeah, and so AOC responded to this. She said, why should I be spirited and warm for this embarrassment of a State of the Union? Tonight was an unsettling night for our country. The president failed to offer any plan, any vision at all for our future. We're flying without a pilot, and I'm not here to comfort anyone about that fact. So it's a very good response, more dignified than the initial tweet.
Because you know what it is? In general, when it comes to establishment in Washington, D.C. in general, it's no matter what's going on, no matter what policies are happening, no matter how much hatred this guy has been throwing around for 2 years, it doesn't matter. Once you get to these types of settings, you're supposed to be cordial, nice, smile, and act like you get along. No, because then as soon as he walks out of the room, or actually while he's still in the room, he throws some more hatred around. There's nothing to connect on here. I'm not being warm while he's being cold. Where's my warmth going for here?
Yeah.
What's the point of that? So you can smile and be happy about it? No, that's not what's going on here. The State of the Union is that it's very divided because of hatred in the White House.
Yeah, she was warm in the one moment where he wasn't viciously attacking them. She was warm then, okay, which seems reasonable. But by the way, one of the reasons I want to bring this up is if they're gonna critique the women's clothes, and there's all these right-wing memes about the fact that they're wearing white like the KKK, that's a nice ahistorical take for you. But let's bring up this one last tweet where you can see there AOC and also the Congresswoman, I think it's Nydia Velasquez sitting next to her, are wearing pins with a picture of Jacqueline Kahl, the Guatemalan child who died in custody of Border Patrol there. So look, if you're gonna zoom in and focus so much on the clothing that these women are wearing, actually learn something from it. Because we heard a lot of names having to do with the border and the supposed national emergency there. But the children who died weren't brought up. I thought that was interesting that the president didn't spare a couple of moments for that. But there are politicians who are responsible and are willing to keep that story going and honor the memory of the tragic death of people like Jacqueline. AOC is one of them. Thank you very much for watching this clip from the Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.